everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you where you are. Happy, I think, Friday. Friday sounds right. I think that's where we're at. Because yesterday was Thursday and tomorrow's Saturday. Yeah, it all checks out. Oh, did it. Hello, everybody. Spooky James, Fuzzy Food. Good morning, Doug. Astrid, hi. We got some coffee. I was just cleaning up my bags a little bit. I was also reviewing my Delver's progress, and I remembered, if indeed I ever knew, that now that I'm Renown 8 or Journey 8 or whatever with my Delve journey, I'm occasionally getting champion Warbound equipment. And I'm feeling like maybe I should just stop hanging on to any further adventure Warbound equipment, because there's only so much room in the banks, and the adventure stuff was stacking up pretty quick, especially with the rares I was doing. So, keeping a little bit of everything wouldn't hurt. But I'm not exactly leveling buckets of alts over here. And I would like to save room in the Warbank to make sure I am hanging on to at least the champion Warbound stuff. That seems pretty good. So, to that end, especially like weird pieces like weapons and offhands, I think I'm gonna just DE them. Love that RP walk intro. Ranks 8 and 10. Delves. So good. Yeah, what 9 gets us, what does 9 get us? Tier 11 bountiful coffers now have a chance to provide other piece of hero equipment or an untainted mana crystal used to purchase equipment from Zeron. 8, 9, and 10s give smaller quantities. And then at 10, you get more coffer key shards, you get a piece of decor, you get a hearthstone and a title. So 9 is actually where the next good stuff is. The stuff on 10 is all cosmetic except for the coffer key shards, but like, I've been earning my coffer key shards. I haven't felt particularly strained in that category. I am 8 and how far in am I? Oh, I'm nearly 9. Wow. You know what? Maybe I'll do... This character was going to do 2 11s, or maybe 3 of them. Even though she's done her gilded chest already. She was going to do a few 11s. Why don't I do my Hunter Delve, or a few Hunter Delves first, or even just one, to get my journey to 9, so that when I finish my priest keys, I can get more good stuff. I think that makes sense. I think that logic checks out. Jake FX1, hello, happy Friday, happy 47-month resub. Cheers to that. Happy Friday. Are you just doing delves today? So far, that's my plan. I got 3 hours. You never know where you're gonna end up, but that's where we're starting. Hi, buddy. Is there a Moosey? Is it a big puppy? Oh, he's sleepy. 90s alt rock intensifies. 3 11s. Still have Warbound stuff from the War Within. Kind of kitted out the odd characters plan on leveling. Yeah. I only have 1 tab in my Warbank that I have dedicated to... I've got 1 Warbank tab I've dedicated to Warbound gear. I could, like, buy another tab. But 1 tab seems like lots. It seems like if I'm filling up 1 tab, maybe I can just disenchant some stuff. So, let's see. Does this character still need her keys? She has a couple. She needs more, but she has a couple. I'll have to figure out to what extent I want to keep doing weekly delves on all of my alts once my journey's done. I think I'm running out of reasons. I'm not going to do an 11. I think I'm happy to do an 8 at this time, right? Let me see. Because I can't, let me remind myself. 8 is Champion Warbound from 9's up. So if I want a chance at that, I could do a 9. Alright, fine. You've convinced me. We'll do a 9. My BM Hunter, item level 260. This is an alt. She's okay. I'm alright at it. I feel like it's pretty close to played out. Like, I've kind of done what I set out to do, which evidently was not very much. I thought I had food on me. I guess I don't. I guess I'll just do this one and then call it good. More tabs. My next Warbank tab is 2.5 million gold. Holy smokes. You must have lots of them. I have, I think, 2. I just don't want to buy them if I don't need them. It feels like renting it's not renting, you pay for it once and you have it, but like it feels like renting a storage unit for stuff that I A, don't need, and B, don't even have. I'd rather just not have that much stuff to manage, because I get really overwhelmed when my banks are super jammed. And I feel like it would just be like the equivalent of buying a bigger purse than I need. Like, it's just going to accumulate junk. And then every time I want to go, like, clean it out or find something, it's just going to make it harder. More storage space is not always better for me in my life. It usually just means more chaos and more time looking for the thing you're actually looking for. I guess on computers we have things like indexing and search functions, but let's not get carried away. Oh yeah, how was Raid this week? It was good! We re-cleared on Wednesday and did a little tiny bit of Midnight Falls progression, and then we did... Last night, we didn't do 3 full hours, because I don't know... And I think it was smart that we didn't. I don't know if my raid has 3 full hours of progression brain in them. I certainly don't. We did progression on Heroic Midnight Falls, so the last boss of Heroic March on Keldanos. I pretty early volunteered myself to do an extra call out of the shape order right before they spawn. And I came to regret that because after doing it a couple of times, I felt like I was getting new onset shape dyslexia. I was slowly losing my mind throughout the entire thing. Because like at first it was super easy. I'm like, oh yeah, circle, triangle, diamond, XD. And then I would just call it out and feel like a cool pilot, you know, on the intercom in a flight. But after doing like 5 or 6 of them, I started to like get kind of fried and have a really hard time telling diamond and triangle because my system was to shorten them into 1 syllable and then batch them into 2 groups as I saw them. And diamond and triangle start with the same syllable, so they would be die and try. And also, they're both kind of pointy looking things. So I ended up having to add moods and pitch to them. Diamond was diamond, and then triangle became triangle, because triangle had a flat hat and diamond had the pointy on the head. And that sentence should indicate to you the level of bonkers I was going last night. 260 BM Hunter can easily do a tier 10. Oh yeah, I'm sure. Not very good at Hunter. If I don't need to, I don't really want to make it any harder or like longer than like absolutely necessary. I'm not exactly progressing this character anymore. I think she kind of has the gear that she's going to have short of just Vault for the week. And you don't get any better gear from a 10 than a 9. We're going to do, at least from Vault, maybe a little bit of a heal. I also found that I'm trying to get away with swapping Valir to DPS because I found that having her heal was so slow. It's safe, but it's really slow. And I get big impatient. This is a nice story, this delve. I really should just save the mats I get and make the amount of times I go to sell stuff in my bags, turn around and buy them again. I mean, if you sell things though, and then time passes and you buy them again, and the price fell in the intervening time, which it very well may have because a lot of these things started expensive and get cheaper over time, then you actually made a little bit of gold. You sold high and you bought low, technically. Plus, you're using the auction house as your storage space. I'm here to support this particular practice because I'm a big culprit of it. I do that all the time. I would much rather, especially if it's something I know I can easily buy again, and I'm like, do I need it? I don't know. I'll just send it. I only keep it if I know I need it. Like, I'm absolutely positive I'm going to use it, and like soon. Because even if you're going to need it, and you're going to need it much later when it might be cheaper, just sell it. Sell it and get the good gold for it now while the price is good. Appreciate the validation. I got you. I shouldn't have pulled. We're hurting. We have pain. Oh, coffee's nice. Let's heal my pet. And I guess I can just do this and maybe Valir will heal herself. There she goes. Some things aren't on the auction house when you need it. Better to make your own storage guild and squirrel away everything. Yes. yes. My perspective also comes from a point of view of infinite laziness, where if I'm looking at doing something and it turns out I need something obscure that I A, had, B, lost, and C, cannot just get on the auction house again, there's a strong chance I'm going to look at whatever that task is and go, nah, no thank you. I don't think I want to do whatever that is that badly. That's crazy. But I am supremely lazy. And there's so much, we're so spoiled for things to do in the game now that I feel like you can get to be really picky about it. You can be such a diva and be like, I don't feel like doing this particular thing because it displeases me today, and you still have 7 other things to do. Like, you're so spoiled for choice that you can be really picky. My pet's perished again. Valir, can you, like... Thank you. Hi, Hazel Chat. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Runelite. Talked a big game about getting away with, having Valir do damage. We'll see if I can. Always put your companion in damage dealer. It's a newer thing I'm trying. It seems faster if you can get away with it. Over having her heal. Normally I do 8s. This one's a 9. I find that my hunter pets are squishier than I would expect them to be for my gear level these days. They really can't tank very effectively. I am using a ferocity pet, so they'd have a little bit more health if I got an endurance pet out. That's a possibility, and then just switch the ferocity pet to Lust at the last boss, but I don't know. Go in there as a healer when I put her on damage. Yeah, I do that too now. I got put onto that a couple weeks ago, and that's what I'll probably do later for my Holy Priest. When they tank, they pull so many mobs. I think I'm also just like misusing my cooldowns. Like I could be batching things up and grouping them up a little better. I don't need to do this, but I'm going back for it. I see it. Let's do a little misdirect. And get some extra stuff. And then we can use thingy. And also heal the pet. And you know what? Hair racial. Why not? There we go. I was so excited about this hunter, and it was fun leveling her, but I do feel like she's kind of... I don't know if there's anything else that I'm like dying to do. It'll be nice to have her as like a geared max level character, so that if I want to do like a second batch of weeklies for gold, or if I start wanting to repeat gold quests, like world quests, I think it'll really help having something like this that can just kind of easily run out and quest, or do a soiree or an abundance or whatever without it being a lot of drama. But I think she's pretty much geared at that point. If that's my goal, I think I did it. I don't know what that cast does, but any cast that lasts that long has got to be bad news. Should I go in the building? I suppose so. It's nice in here. Makes me feel like, oh, I should improve my house. I gotta decide if the next room that I'm gonna decorate is gonna be a kitchen or like a little church. I gotta figure that out. I'm gonna do both eventually. I feel like the church is going to be kind of easier design-wise, but may require like lots of duplicate items. I may need to do some farming, because like when I'm thinking of making a little priest church for Inksy, I'm thinking lots of windows, and probably not the basic default ones. Those golden windows for either... You can get some for resonance crystals, but you can also get some for a drop from Cinderbrew Meadery. I don't know if I could solo run that. Probably. I would need like, and then I'm probably going to pick out like a bench to be pews and then need like a ton of them. I suppose I probably shouldn't make it like a big church. I would love to see her housing. This priest always prefer her as DPS and a crafted one. Oh, the window, yeah. I've arrived 17 minutes late. I haven't said a word. I haven't spilled any news. Also, there's no new news as of today in particular. Although I did clean up a couple pictures so I could show you. You're not too late. I wouldn't want to pop that genie out of the bottle at the very top of the stream when people aren't even here yet. Do I care about the Noleus pack? I feel like I really don't. I feel like they're just wildly not worth it for how long they take and how much damage they do. I guess if it's right there. Oh, the banner's over there too. Fine. I've convinced myself. I'm hoping this one gives me enough journey experience to get to Journey 9. That'll be kind of cool to get to grips with what those kind of benefits are. lately I've been doing one decorating stream a week, normally on one of the weekend days. That's what I've been doing lately. I wonder if I should... It's nice for labeling's sake to just do it all in one day. It might be nicer for me to split it into 2 bits or just do like a half a stream worth of decorating though. I guess if I end up needing to like go farm a bunch of stuff, that'll probably break it up and shake up the thing. I don't do housing tours. How many housing tours a week? I haven't been doing them. Your WoW runs so smoothly. Game looks incredible. Aw, shucks. Do our best. I keep a lot of settings, graphic settings, turned down much farther than necessary. Partly because I don't really feel like I need them, and partly because I really prioritize keeping things smooth. Even though I'm playing at 4K, and even though I am streaming on the same computer that I am running the game on. So I have things like, I have a decent graphic setup, don't get me wrong. I'm using a, does it say here? No, it doesn't. It's a 2080, I think. Or a 3080 or something. But I cap at 60 FPS. I turn ground clutter to 1. I turn shadows all the way down to low. I have lots of stuff lower than what my graphics could allow them to be, just to really give me some extra overhead. And because I don't really miss them when they're gone. Why run something I don't feel like I need? Whenever I'm playing WoW, I'm usually just worried about why I'm dying anyway. How sick the lighting effect when I was dying doesn't usually cross my mind. Hey Hazel, how are you? Hello! I am good, how are you? Happy Friday. Do you have a streaming mode for graphics? One for yourself when you want to be amazed? No. I technically could. I have zero desire to be amazed. I do not care about how good the graphics are. The only reason I have 4K monitors is so I can review 4K footage and, I don't know, make sure it looks appropriately crispy. I used to be kind of a graphics nerd, and I lost it entirely. I could not care less anymore. Happy Friday for you as well. Happy Friday. Friday. And let's do these ones and heal my pets. I went on an emergency scavenger hunt to try to buy sinking fish food that would be appropriate for one of my new fish that I got that was having a hard time getting food, and I felt like he was looking at me and he was all hungry and stuff. So I went out to try to get him something on short notice that he could eat. And I actually managed to find something. And then he decided that he didn't really like it. He tried a little bit and he went, blah! And then he just like swam away. So he's just gonna have to forage for a day or two until I can get something else delivered that he might like. Goofy fish. I thought for sure I was like saving the day. I had a real hero complex going on. I was like, I will get you your pellets. Turns out it doesn't like it so much. The shrimp will eat it, which is good. They won't go to waste. Also, the one thing I will say in favor of fish keeping. Fish keeping's not cheap on the whole, but fish food is quite cheap. And if you don't have very big fish or very many fish, it lasts a really long time. I feel like with computers and graphics, kind of going back to that, it's the same sort of attitude I have about my car. I just want it to work. I just want it to work, not annoy me, not concern me in any way, and get the job done. I don't need it to be flashy. I don't need it to go above and beyond. I don't need it to be particularly, like, you know, like I'm not trying to run anything particularly difficult. I'm playing the same games I've been playing for 20 years now. I have not tried the Hunter survival build. Haven't played a lot of Survival Hunter. I'm usually BM. I like the fantasy of BM. I tried Marks for about 30 seconds before I went back to BM. Alright, what did we get? Did I get my journey leveled? Yeah! So now, tier 11 bountifuls will have a chance to provide hero or untainted mana crystals. curious a little bit. I'm a little bit curious about the untainted mana crystal thing. I'll have to look into that, or hopefully figure it out as I see it, like in the game, because I haven't seen any of that yet. What did I get? I got a champion chest, which I don't need. I got a champion trinket, or I have a champion trinket, which I don't need. I got some veteran warbound stuff. Nope, don't think we have any upgrades, but it's all good. What's Hearth, I think? I know the Argentina key would do it. Do I not have a regular Hearthstone on my bar? Hello, Miss Kira. How are ya? Toy box. Hearthstone. Sometimes I just try to grab a random one. Oh, you going back in your closet? You can be wherever you like. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday, Leniko. Sometimes I wonder if I lack the necessary curiosity to have, like, good conversations about the game. I'll try new features when they come out, you know? Like, I was on the PTR doing, oh, hang on. I want to get you up, but I don't want to roll over your paw. Careful. Oh, gosh. We're boxed in a little bit. I got you. Baby girl. Yeah, I was trying out some of the new features and figuring out what's going on with them. But when it comes to new classes, like, I literally have not unlocked Void Elf Demon Hunters, and I have never Spectre Devourer. It's just never... I don't even think I ever tried playing Aug. I don't think I've ever set my spec to Aug except by accident. Lately, when they add new specs and stuff, I just don't know what it's for. Power boost with the Void Forge seems to be here so early this season. I'm a bit relieved about that. I didn't really want it to be after most of the goals are done, so I'm kind of glad that they're doing a double whammy of sort of adding more goals and also having this thing come in while it's still, like, actually relevant and people are still raiding. Miss Kira, you want to say hi? You look good. You want a little brush? Do you have anything to say to your audience? You want your microphone? It's on this side now. I know I moved it. I've realized I'm really spoiled with her because you can never pet Kira too much. You can never, like, pet her in the wrong spot. You can't really upset her. At least I can't. Hi. Pretty much whatever I want to do, she is, at the very least, willing to try it out. You know? I can pet her tummy. I can wiggle your feet. I can do your nails and your teeth. And I've gotten very spoiled by that. And I've forgotten that that's not how most cats work. Hi. You're just so easygoing. You're so cute. Lukuna Faye, thank you very much for the brand new sub. Appreciate it. Kira looks great. I feel like she's gotten a real pep in her step the last week. Hi. You've been trotting around all perky. Good morning, Kira and everyone. Yeah, that's a bug, not a feature. Hi. Hi, baby girl. Dax is taken to lying on his back on my desk and batting at my face when I fail to pat him sufficiently. Okay, so I got my journey up to where I wanted it. So we can do the next ones on my priest. Because I've done my Glory of the Midnight Delver. I don't need a ton of Warbound. The Warbound equipment is kind of interesting to me, but I don't feel like I need a lot of it because I'm not really leveling a lot of alts. I'm also still leveling that warrior. I haven't... She's been parked. My Fury Warrior has been parked since the last time I leveled her on stream, so she's been getting some extra rested. Let me drop off, unless I did already, drop off some of the Warbound gear into the bank. Mine used to climb up on my lap when I was on my computer, gently bite my nose with his paws on my shoulder. Ow. Gentle chomp. I think I might do one more delve before I whip out kitty pictures, just to let us really get fully warmed up over here. Didn't hurt. Yeah. She used to like play with my socks. And sometimes she would want to play with socks so badly that she would do it while they were on my feet, and she would end up kind of like chewing on my toes a little bit, but it never hurt. She never like really gave it. I don't think. So I do want to dump the dye in there. This is my gear tab. Let's organize that and let's put in the new one. Oh, are you done? You good for now? Let me help. The way I've been spotting duplicates that I should disenchant is really just looking for copies of icons. Anytime I see a bunch of the same icon in a row, and it's like a blue item, I feel like I can probably yoink and DE, because I'm going to have champion stuff. And also, how many else do I think I'm leveling? Right now I'm leveling nothing. The answer to how many else is none of them. Get rid of maybe these. Because I'm assuming the organize button will put matching named items together. Those are both leather belts. Ooh, this one will give me an item ID when I DE it. Those are epics, so I'm gonna hold on to epics. It's just duplicate blues that I want to scrap here. Make sure we got room for the good stuff. DE all the Warband blues with decent Delve Journey progress, get vet gear. I think so too. I'm just a little hesitant to press the button and clear it literally all of it, because there is a chance I just stop doing delves the moment I get to Delve Journey 10. There is a possibility that as soon as I finish the Delve Journey that I no longer feel motivated to play them, and then I wouldn't be getting any more of it. You never know. Hi, Hazel. Sorry, I screamed. Hi! How's it going? We saw a moose in town. A big real one? Not my dog on the lamb? That's what an organized bank looks like. Eh. My method of organization is kind of just to get rid of stuff. Yeah, exactly what Dorda said. A bank of a shameless get-ridder of person. That's me. Look, there's extra current equipment things that I can probably chuck here. Things that I'm definitely not using this season. Certainly not champion stuff. Oh. Yeah, this is the cleanup that I did before, got some extra, like... Oh yeah, my bonus spawn of Horadon, that's right. Just funky and sentimental and miscellaneous stuff there. Some extra sparks. Reagents, I think, is mostly, like, sparks and tinker mats and a couple of bits of, herbs and stuff. And oh yeah, look, a rock buddy. See, you're keeping your plus nobility ring too. Yeah, I have no plan or no expectations that it's ever used for anything. I just thought it was cool. I thought it was cool enough to stash it into the bank instead of deleting it. Actual moose antlers and all across the road from a grocery store. What were they up to? Were they munching? Were they just chilling? Were they observing? Are you doing a video about what's going on next week? I'm out of the loop, I fear. My last two news videos both involve recaps of what's coming in 1205, so that's a good place to start. I probably won't recap it again tomorrow because I've done it twice in a row now. There's also a patch notes. 1205, you Google 1205 patch notes, you'll get an article that lists out everything that's coming. I always enjoy a nod back to the days of keeping a lucky rabbit's foot in your bag, just in case it has impact on loot luck. Yeah, people will do a lot of things if they think there's a chance, because, like, why wouldn't you? It was just standing in a little pond, probably eating. You can buy a square inch of land in Scotland and get a certificate that you are Lady Hazel, except that Canadians are not allowed to have titles, so never mind. I can't be Lady Hazel. Potion of Luck for Pandaria. That was a real thing. It had to do with getting little bags of stuff to drop. I forget what they had in them. Trade goods or something? Thoughts on the 3400 Mythic Plus achievement in saddles? Phenomenal idea. Super excited. Might actually go for it. I think that's just the thing that Mythic Plus was missing, was like a little extra reason to squeak out a little bit more rating past 3K if you felt like that was easier than you expected it to be. Great, been wanting them to do that for years. Yeah. I also think it's cool that they're going to do like the Umbral Champion thing. Even if it's not going to be like, for me, I think it's cool still. It's all 16s and oof. Yeah, I mean, it's a late season stretch goal to get 3400. We still have a lot more power. Like, that might be a reason to actually use your bonus rolls and get more myth gear and get things upgraded. And not only are we getting bonus rolls, but Voidforge also gives extra upgrade tracks to, what is it, weapons and trinkets. So we'll be able to get quite a bit more power. Like, I'm still running around with a veteran trinket and a champion trinket. And I'm almost AOTC. Like, I've got some overhead in my gearing here still. What item level is my best stuff? 289? Yeah, I've got about 15 more item levels that I could realistically go this season. 15 would be a lot if I got to actual 289, but I could probably get to 285 over the next, like, couple of months. And it'd be cool to have a reason to actually do that. I don't know about crafted stuff. That's a good question. So, I decided to do 11. Yeah, let's do the 11. Go to the center. Then heal me. This is this the one with the guy bounding around the edges? I think it must be. Also, does it matter if I'm in my raid or my dungeon healing spec? I don't know. Could do. Oh yeah, he gives you the thing to hide from the thing that's patrolling around when you can just kind of step out of the way, or you can also just eat it and get stunned. It's not that big of a deal. You must pick it up though. Can't forget that. When cats. After this delve, I think. After this delve, we can have a little look at some cats. We tried an add-on for Laura's memory game. I don't know if we got the wrong one or what, but we gave it a couple of rounds, couldn't get it working, and then just went back to doing it the old-fashioned way. It's not unreasonably hard. That's not the part that we're walled on right now. We progressed past that with some effort, but like, I think sometimes people, it's, I don't know. It's an awkward thing. We've got it pretty down, just doing it the old-fashioned way. One person calls out the shapes as they appear, and then I also keep an eye on them, and then I do a recall right as everybody gets their shapes in Discord. Yeah, for a Canadian, I will fully admit I don't know a whole lot about the king. I know he's on the money, but I've been tapping to pay for a while now, so he doesn't enter my train of thought very often. Guild was so hell-bent on getting that add-on to work, it would have been faster just to learn the mechanic through practice. Yeah, it's one of those things, and it's like, it's true that like, yes, if the add-on makes it way easier, it's probably objectively a good idea to get it working. But I think it's easy to confuse this thing can be solved with an add-on with you cannot do this thing without the add-on. Like, people just will assume that just because there's a tool you could use for it, that you can't possibly do it without the tool. And if you actually try the mechanic, it's hard, but it's not that hard. It's really easy on normal. On heroic, having the 5. The only problem that I'm having is because I'm doing the callouts. I need to get better at gaming because I need to improve my ability to heal while calling things out. And like heal while watching the shapes and heal while remembering the shapes, as well as like dodging the Beyblades and whatever. It's just practice. It's just progression. There's a King of Canada. Canada's a member of the Commonwealth, just like Australia. So England's king and royal family is technically our head of state too, I think, but I haven't taken a politics class in a long time, so forget exactly how the whole shebang works. Reminds me of Fractalus with WeakAura trivializing it, but you can do it without just fine. Fractalus was so funny to me because that game was actually like dead easy. We never got the WeakAura because it never occurred to us that we needed a WeakAura to count to 4. It, like, the memory game I kind of understand a bit more. That one takes some real doing. The Fractalus one was really funny to me. And again, no shame if you used it. I'm sure it did make it easier than doing it the old-fashioned way, but like, holy smokes. British? No, are you British? Do we share a king? Good for Mythic? Yeah, I bet. I bet. This one? That, flex difficulty... Oopsies. Flex difficulty... He doesn't even hurt. Flex difficulty Mythic is gonna really test my guild's mettle in terms of how badly, like, do we actually not want to do Mythic, or did we just not want to do Force 20 Mythic? I know we don't like benching people. It's just, we don't... It's nice that we can do content easy enough that we can kind of not have to do things perfectly, because it reduces a lot of social friction. You can just kind of like let people do their best and you can make it through. Yeah, Force 20 the worst part. I've also though had a real kind of like sick twisted pleasure about never having to learn the Mythic mechanics, because I don't know, there's like a tiny part of me that gets a real kick out of not knowing and not needing to know what kind of fresh hell you have to do to kill the boss on Mythic. Because I'm sure it's awful. I'm sure it's hard. That's the point. So, like, it's nice. It's kind of nice feeling like that's not my problem. Love progging, but man, the 20-player roster sucks. Yeah. I wonder if I just don't personally love progging that much. I can get on board with some of it, but I tap out pretty quick. I think I'm about as smart as I'm gonna get. I don't like trying that hard. It makes me tired. Although I do like feeling like I'm helping out the team. I like feeling like I'm a good contributing member of a team. Especially when you work alone and for yourself, it's something that you end up kind of missing a little bit. Even my like minimum wage retail jobs had a better feeling of camaraderie that you kind of don't appreciate until you don't have it anymore. So I get it from WoW. All ready to finish this one? Yeah. I don't know what hero loot I would realistically want to have drop on my 11 here. I think this character doesn't need it. Guild's never going to get cutting edge, but it'd be nice to just take our group to the first couple bosses once we get AOTC. Yeah, I could see us maybe trying a few. Prague was the most fun in the old 10-man mythic raids because 10 people is small enough that you can have basically no variance between the best and worst player in the team. I feel that. I feel that way about mega dungeons. Like when 5-player mythic mega dungeons first come out and they're tuned really hard, and you're trying to do like a challenge mode in the first week, like when they added like Mechagon or Tazavesh or whatever, doing those for the first time always feels like progressing a 5-player raid, because we have to pull bosses a bunch of times. Not so much for the hard mode if it's like a deathless challenge, but like you're really like learning and trying and working together, but it's a team of 5 people, so there's way fewer variables to have to wrangle, and there's like less of a variance. So those are super, super fun, at least for the first couple of times. That's the kick I get out of those. Those Caltrops that Valeria puts down make my feet hurt when I look at them. I think I avoid them because I just assume that they're bad for me, even though they are very much on my team. Killed Mythic Chimeras this week, and a Warbound Heroic Gaze dropped for me, and I feel paralyzed on what to do with it. Oh, man. I mean, at least it's Warbound, so you don't have to worry about whether or not you should sell it. That would be hard. This item or millions of gold. Equip it. Yeah, but to who? Which character? I don't know where that little Loa came from. That must be part of the dungeon. Or the delve. Change your main so that's the one using it. Live in regret for the next year. Not massive for my main's DPS, or I would. Do you have any alts that have it as a BIS option? What if that picks your next alt for you? You start playing a blank just because it could super use like a Heroic Gaze. Or you just keep telling your friends, oh hey, I have a Heroic Gaze I can trade, and then you try to trade it, and then you're like, oh no, sorry, I can't. And you just keep doing that until somebody gets mad at you. Brought Warrior's my main ult, and it's BIS, so that's my leading. Nice. Ooh. Ah, I remembered what I need. It's End of Delve drops and Undercoins also. I got an End of Delve drop helmet. Twilight Follower's Cowl. Why does this thing look like that? Having a hood and a crown feels like having breakfast and lunch at the same time. I guess that's just brunch. Alright, here's the champion thing. I got my cosmetic thing. I keep getting this one pet over and over again. It's not sellable, is it? Nope, not sellable at all. Well, I don't want any more of them, so get it out of here. You have delve equipment. Okay. Untainted mana crystals can be earned after reaching rank 9 of the Delver's Journey. You get from opening bountiful coffers at 11s. And you can trade them for heroic trinkets. Hero track trinkets. I wonder if it's always trinkets or if it's just hero track gear and it just happens to be trinkets here. They're bop. They are bop. That would be really good if you were gearing up a character just in Delves and you were pushing them all the way to 11. I guess if I wanted to keep gearing up my hunter in Delves, what I would do is I would take her to 11. I would start doing her bountifuls on 11s. It's nice that there's more of a reason to do your bountifuls on 11. I felt like I was stopping at 8 and just farming those, even though I could have done higher ones, basically all last expansion. Interesting, okay. Alright, well, let's get out of there. A+++ title. Never gets old. I've decided my Sara Caverns is my least favorite dungeon this season. For when you're royal, but chilly. How many delves do you figure you do every week? Maybe 10? theoretically 12, because I've been trying to keep up with all my keys and my hunter and my priest, and I think I have been doing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if I like missed 1 or 2. So 10 to 12. We can disenchant this one too. I promised that before I did another delve, I would take a second to show you guys some of the pictures of the kitties. To catch you up if you didn't catch the correct moment of the last couple of streams. Flabby and I have applied to adopt a pair of kittens. We can't bring them home yet because they're very, very little. They're not old enough to go home yet. They're at a org right now. And I have some pictures. Kitten countdown. It's gonna be, I think, a couple of weeks. They're I can visit them. They're at like a cat rescue cafe kind of situation. Does Kira like other cats? You know, we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out together. I have told her and promised her she doesn't have to like them. She is allowed to hate them forever if she wants to. I will not let them chomp all over her. I will not let them steal all of her space. We've got lots of room now. Maybe she'll like them. It could happen. Let me pull up the pictures. I have a couple here. So there's 2 kitties. We're still working on names, so I don't have any names to share with you yet. One of them, they're brothers. They're about 6 weeks old right now. Let me show you. Let me start with like the first picture of the first one that I met at the cat lounge, and then I fell in love with him because he fell asleep on my lap and he took a little snooze and he was really soft, and I fell in love. Oopsies. There's that was him the first time I met him. And he was so small that he wasn't even allowed to go like on the floor with the other cats yet because he hadn't even had his shots. He's just a little guy, and he got all sleepy and he started stretching out his paws, and I had to try to like keep him from falling between my legs through my lap because I wasn't really like seated in a comfy chair or anything. I was just kind of perched on a bench. He was just a little guy. So that's the first one. And then after I talked us into getting that cat, I was thinking more about it and was like, you know, if we're gonna do it, we should really try and get 2 so that they can bond and play and also keep each other busy so that they're not stressing out Kira or, you know, us, I guess, and grow up together. So I asked them if there were any other siblings or like cats around the same age, and it turned out there was one sibling from the same litter and still available. And that is this little guy who is even smaller than his brother. And we've applied to adopt him. We've got a deposit. We're really hoping he does well because he was having a tough time. He was having a tough time like building strength in his legs. He was having a tough time competing to get enough to eat from his siblings with his mom. He is smaller. He's kind of the runt of that particular litter. So he wasn't gaining weight at the same pace. So we're really hoping that he can, especially with some extra attention, that he can pack on some cat and turn it around and get big and strong and come home with us and hang out with his brother. He's just a little guy. Yeah, he's like all noggin. Let me see. There's this. He's just like, that's my hand, and then that's the baby. He's not a polydactyl. It's just that his feet look like there's extra toes because you can see his nail bed through his paw fur right now. Maybe just because his feet are so small still. Yeah, he was just a sleepy little guy. Let me see, we've got more. He was climbing me very slowly because he was a little tired because he's just a little guy. I wanted to hold him up, but there was like no weight there. He just kind of latched on like Velcro. He's just a little baby. Gonna fall, right? How do you not how do you not take these guys home? How do you not fall like immediately in love with them? I know they're gonna get bigger. I hope they're gonna get bigger. I know they're cats. They're gonna grow up. They're gonna hopefully live a million years. I can't wait to get to know them as they get older. I can't wait to have them ruin my life as babies. And I need to go see them again. Hang on, there's... What else do I got picture-wise? There's another picture of the first one, the black and white one. What do you think Moose will think? I think Moose is gonna lose his mind. I think he's gonna love them. Moose really loves Kira, and his one, I think, drawback with Kira is that she's like too tired for him. She doesn't want to play or really deal with him. She will put up with him, and that's about it. I think that if he can talk these kitties into playing, and they have a big rambunctious dog at the place where they're growing up right now, so they've met dogs. I think that Moose is going to try his best to get in good with them. I'm very curious to see if they end up being friends or if they end up just being like, leave me be, because Moose is patient. He can wait them out. There's the little brothers. There's the little nugget. The bigger one. Aren't they pretty? Also, this one's got kind of a stubby little tail, and his legs are like this long. His tail I don't know if it's going to get longer. It might just be because he's growing a little slow, or it might, he might just end up looking kind of funny. Yeah, it's okay. He can look like whatever he wants. He's just a little guy. So you can see how this happened to me. You can follow the logic. It's going to be a while before they can come home, and then when they are home, it's going to be kind of like when I got Moose. They're probably not going to be on stream all the time right away because this is Kira's zone, and I'm going to really slow roll that introduction because that's what I did with Kira and Moose, and that's why they deal with each other now. So I want to take it super slow because I would not blame Miss Kira for feeling a little cranky about an intrusion. Yeah, they're brothers. They're both boys. They're all boys. I was talking yesterday on stream about how when we bring them home, it's going to be just me and Kira and just like bunches of boys. We've got a boy dog and a boy kitten and another boy kitten and a boy husband, and it's just boys. But yeah, I'm absolutely head over heels in love with both of them. I thought I was head over heels in love with the first one, and I am, and then I saw his brother and I was like, no! BB, come here, I'll feed you. Oh no, I can't show you that one. I have a little video of them licking Licky Treat off my hand, but that one's not good to show. I did some redacting of photos because I was meeting them like on top of my adoption paperwork. But the videos were a little bit trickier, so I decided not to worry about it. Don't think I've ever seen a brown cat before, except maybe one with Siamese in their mix. It seems a little uncommon for sure. I think they're going to be so pretty. I think when they get big, they're going to be such pretty kitties. Yeah. Yeah, let's do an 11. Wow, you get progress really fast. I feel like I'm already like I'm already a quarter of the way into this. Are delves, here's a dumb question. Are delves like prey in that you get a lot of progress for your first handful a week and then less after that? Or do you just get the same amount for every bountiful key that you do, or every bountiful key of a certain level that you do like forever? Licky Treat photo before or after the hand bite. The bigger one bit my hand while getting the Licky Treat. I was giving them both a treat on one hand, and then the bigger one finished his treat first, and then bit me to try to get more. Chop. I love how tiny kittens look both sleepy and confused at the same time. I'm dying to know what the little guy's personality is going to turn out like, because right now he's just trying to exist. His personality is baby. He is sleepy. That's it. That's all he's got right now. I will be so happy if I see him getting up to mischief and into trouble and getting some... Like, I think the first time I see him get zoomies, I'm going to perish. Me just got rank 8 for Delve progress. Nice. Tom and Jerry, cute names. Bonus in the first Delve of the week. Not sure if it's per character. We'll look it up. Because I feel like I'm getting this last journey of... I feel like this last one's going really fast. Giant progress for the first Delve of the week via the quest. Credit in the chest is the same. Okay. Yeah, maybe I can finish this. What curios do you use? I can double check. I forget. The one, I think the utility curio is the one that can one-shot mobs occasionally. It's got a very low chance to just like vanish a mob. Let me look, it's just right over here. Megatron and Optimus. I have a legal pad with multiple pages now filled with names that I've been writing. Like, me and husband will just sit on the couch for hours and just say names and write them down and cross them out and like look at the pictures in the TV and be like, is he a blank? Is he a blank? Is he a blank? Oh man. I have Porcelain Blade Tip and I have Mandate of Sacred Death. This is the Execute utility curio. I don't know if these are good curios. They're just what I'm using. If anybody has a better primary curio to use, I'm all ears. Crit buff, damage, healing increase after 25 seconds. Ever since I was little, all of our family pets have had weather-related names, and I'm running out now for the next pets. You gotta get into, like, esoteric, niche, like, fancy weather names. There's, like, 40 different names for clouds. There's probably lots of different, like, weather pattern names. If you wanted to progress past like storm and rain and tornado and hurricane would be hilarious, cats. Blade Tip is what Wowhead recommends. Oh. Well, would you look at that? I did it. Netheranthropic Chris for the combat curio. Nice. This is our new dog, Cumulonimbus. While we were in pet name vortex, I went and looked back through my like Google Docs and my Pages docs to find. I knew when I was naming Moose, when I was coming up with dog names, I had made some documents. And I found an older dog name document that thank goodness I didn't use because the names on it were bananas. I had some names that I think... It must have been old from when I was younger because a lot of them were like pop culture names. There was a lot of like WoW names that I wouldn't necessarily go for now. There were... The number one name on that list was Clunkers, which is... I was laughing with Miss being like, buddy, you don't know how good you have it. You could have been Clunkers. I'm not gonna lie, it's still kind of cute, but Clunkers with a U. My one dog's name is Nimbus, the other one is Cirrus. Stratus. Had a border collie named Storm when I was a kid. But yeah, I was looking through the other names in the list, and none of them really seemed like good Moose names. Now that he's Mr. Moosey Moo, I can't imagine him being named anything else. But it's hard with just like a little kitty when you're just looking at this little nugget. And you have it narrowed down to a couple things that all seem like they'd work, and it's like, well, how do you pick one? It's just a little guy. I guess you pick anything and then they grow into it. Worried if you named a pet Storm that they'd feel compelled to live up to that name. We didn't want to give the little runty guy a name that, or I didn't want to give him a name that, kind of like, I don't know, referred to his runtiness. We were joking about giving him like the opposite, like a super like butch or like powerful name that would, you know, manifest him to grow up into strength, you know, like Tank. I don't think we're gonna name him Tank, though. But yeah, I love them. I'm obsessed. I want to go see him again. Falcor. He is a lion. Hear him roar. He's the chatty one. He was the one going meep, meep, meep. I think he's gonna be loud. They're so cute when they're little and they want to meow and all they can do is mee. Asking to see Tank and seeing the smallest, most big-headed, short-legged kitten slowly walk in is such a funny thought. Deathwing seems appropriate. I really should have power-infused Valera for this. Ma'am, you've got some work to do. Our chatty one turned into the one that screams at night and keeps us from sleeping 50% of the time. Yeah. We were talking, it's like, are they gonna sleep in bed with us? I don't know. Do they want to sleep in bed with us? If they choose to, can we realistically stop them from sleeping in bed with us? Kira always slept in bed with me until she didn't want to get up there anymore. And sometimes I just got worse sleep. But I felt like it was worth it anyways because we were bonding. Rexar. Yeah, it's very hard for me to focus on other things. I'm not that good at compartmentalizing when there's babies. Allergic to cats, but feed a feral that hangs around my back deck. Nice. What kind of coat does he have? Or she? A little scratching post material ramps you can put up by the bed. Yeah. Might be able to work something. It's a very small room. The bed barely fits in the room. There's not a whole lot of space. This house is really old and the rooms were built for hobbits. The nice thing is that from any given place you can usually reach whatever it is you're trying to reach. One of the bathrooms is really narrow, and people that visit always go, wow, this is a thing. And I'm like, yeah, but like, you can be in the shower and you can reach your towel off the towel rack from anywhere. It's just right there. Isn't that convenient? As long as nobody needs a wheelchair, we're golden. The moment we need to consider being accessible, we do have a problem, but for the time being, that one's alright. Brontosaur, good thing. Meet my cat, a Brontosaur. The bigger white and black one likes climbing people. Loves to get on your shoulder. Loves to kind of climb over your back. Try and get on your head. Right around in your shoulder. Very much like a parrot kind of cat. Did you know Chihuahuas were bred to be living body heaters? Isn't that kind of wild? I did not know that. I've never heard that one before. Okay. I had a brief moment where I'm like, did I not do this one on my priest? Because I knew I did this one, but I did it on my hunter. It's like, it is bountiful still, right? Please? Yes? Oh dear. I've also been enjoying having new shrimpies by my desk. They're all shrimping around. They were eating their shrimp pellets last night. I was watching them kind of scrap over them a little bit. Shrimp don't, like, fight in a meaningfully dangerous way, but they'll sometimes have little shrimp scuffles if they both want, like, a particularly juicy piece of food. And there was one shrimp who was just, like, big and, like, winning all the scuffles, but also was kind of... I don't want to call him dumb, but, like, he kept mugging people for their food and then dropping it. Like, he would knock food off and, like, lose it on his way to mug another shrimp for his like, pellet. It's so silly. You've inspired me to run a priest in Delves. It's fun. It's chill, honestly. I feel more relaxed healing and doing this than I was on my hunter. Classic bully behavior. I might have one shrimp who's a bully. Not about the food, it's about sending a message. It's nice having a whole bunch of them in there, though, and I'm glad that they're all doing well. I was a little bit worried. I freaked myself out by reading too many shrimp forums. But they seem happy. They're all shrimping happily. Might make them little veggie snacks sometime. A lot of them have a racing stripe, which I hadn't experienced in cherry shrimp before. Apparently it can happen sometimes, and it can also be a sign of age, so I'm wondering if I got like a bunch of like grandma and grandpa shrimp. I wonder if they'll be able to have shrimp babies before they shrimp die. I want to get a colony established in that tank. Ideally. I don't want to have to keep buying shrimp. They're spendy. I'd love for the shrimp to make more shrimp. Mm. 70%. Yeah, we're getting there. I'll have to look. I betcha I can use all the things to pull up a list of, like, end of delve rewards that I'm still farming. Although I wonder if there's a world in which you farm those out, like, on a really low level by just doing delves really fast. You know, if you finish your progression and you've got all the catch-up gear you could ever want. I guess you get more undercoins from doing higher level delves. Wonder if there's ever a reason why you just start doing, like, ones, basically, to try to get pieces of, cosmetics to drop. I have some of the vine pouches. Tier level matter with progress. I feel like you get a bit more, like, progress from a higher tier delve. I don't know that for a fact, though. Maybe chat can confirm or deny. More journey progress from higher tier delve. Feels true. They throw so many currencies and little bits of progress at you that it's sometimes hard to unpick what actually just happened when you loot all the stuff at the end of a delve. I wonder if I'm gonna end up being that person that installs like a cat aerial runway through the entire house. Just mount shelves into studs at various levels around the walls so that there's a whole jungle for them to scamper around on. You see a cat like run around like above the WoW posters. That would be cute. Any reason to be doing abundance after you collected what you wanted? If you want to craft epic profession equipment, you need a lot of the, there's an item you buy for unalloyed abundance that you need fused vitality. Might be easier just to not craft epic profession equipment, though. Seems like kind of a rough grind unless you're really into professions. If you're just casually into professions, I would not bother. You get a little bit of, yeah, Amani rep. You get a bit of Amani rep every week from doing just one per week. You might have your Amani rep done, though. I'm already at 18 and I've been lazy. Oh, I can buy a mount. I should do that. I haven't done that yet. Can we have house? I will absolutely be making it a cat jungle gym. They will have an enclosed outdoor space, too. I'd like to do Catio, but I'd have to really do some thinking about how to actually realistically build it. Ideally in a way that's kind of like temporary, like sturdy enough to be sturdy and not flimsy, but temporary enough to not need like a bunch of permits and stuff. Although if you need to go that route, there's worse things you can do with your life. You go approach City Hall. Why are you building this addition? Well, you see, I have cats. One day you'll walk into the kitchen, find them on top of the fridge. 1000%. I fully expect that. Because the top of the fridge is warm, so it's attractive to them. Say no more. Approved. I can't believe 1205 is next week. I think I'm looking forward to bonus rolls. I want to try out Abyss Anglers. It sounds kind of fun. I think Prop Hunt will be super fun. Or Decor Duels. Paint any changes in camo so they cannot see them. Love when chat's all on the same page. Is that specific Say No More approved thing a reference to something? Or are you guys just all on the same wavelength? Sounds like a meme if multiple people are saying it. I've never heard it. Feel like I would secretly get pissed if I got a pet. They love my partner more than me. I've been having to tell Flabby that it's okay for him to bond with the kitties because I will accept it will be like he's been like holding back a little bit because he knows how obsessed I am and he wants me to like be close with them, and it's like, listen, if they choose, like, I want, I want you guys to fall in love too, and I will not take it that personally if they choose you. I swear. We'll see. My love is unconditional. They don't have to pick me. I'll just find one of the pets that did and I'll mope to them about it. Cat I picked out likes my partner more, and the one he picked out likes me more. I won't show them because they've got Fluffy in them, but I've got some cute pictures and video of the kittens climbing on him. Champion, champion. How many? I got 45 untainted mana crystals, so it looks like about 5 keys would get me a heroic whatever it was that I wanted to buy. 5 keys worth of the mana crystals. No, they need to pick me, but I only feel that way because it would be my first ever pet, yeah. When you're not the chosen one for lap sitting, it's heartbreaking. I know this from experience. Maybe I'm underestimating it, because so far I'm always the chosen one for lap sitting because it's my Kira and she's my baby. She loves me. You can always tell when she needs you because you'll just be like hanging out somewhere and you'll hear across the house her go, "Mom!" Meow! Alright, I am leaving this delve. I gotta figure out where and what and where to for I'm going next. I have one more key. So I may as well use that. I don't feel like I'm too fussed about the hero gear. The extra warband gear is nice. Let's do... Shadowguard Point. I like Shadowguard Point. Happy Friday. Happy Friday, Eleanor. Hope you are about to have a fantastic weekend. Let's head to Shadowguard Point. This way. This one's fun because you get to unleash giant worms on people. Cyber Mike B, thank you very much for the 13-month resub. Appreciate it. Thanks so much. Your subs directly support little baby kitten snacks and care and Alright, let's do one more 11. Don't see why not. These aren't bad for making gold either. You do get some stuff you can sell occasionally. Oh yeah, I was gonna check all the things. I wanted to see if there's a section for like midnight delves. So if we look in delves, midnight delves, there is... Okay, so if I get... Hang on. Midnight Delves. So if I get another Midnight Delve achievement for doing every delve on a tier 8 or higher with lives remaining as a damage dealer, healer, and tank, then I get finery funds. There are 5 pets that could come from delve completion. I keep getting the same pet over and over again. Is that bad luck? Why don't I have these ones? I've been doing so many. Undercoins, of course, used for lots of things. Some of these enchant recipes seem expensive. Especially because some of them like are really useful. And then for other cosmetics, it looks like 2, 4, 5. There's a helmet, there's an offhand, another helmet, another offhand, and a brush, which is a one-handed mace appearance. And then you've got, these are just like specific weapons that have appearances, not too worried about that. Then Alea's Cache has a chance to drop a dagger. The vendor has a piece of decor. That's going to be for, that's the piece of decor that we get for finishing the journey. Same thing with the Hearthstone. Okay. Still need lots more stuff. Yeah, that add-on is all the things. That's what all the things is. Don't download it. It'll ruin your life. It can. It depends on how easily you are able to close a tab if it is showing you things that you don't have yet. It's a great way of figuring out all the stuff that you're missing that you didn't even know you were missing yet. I had it, now don't, but want it again. The thing that I do with it to maintain my sanity is I do not have it auto-load at any time. If I'm summoning, like if I want to look at it, I have to press a keybind to bring it up, and then I press that keybind again to hide it. I am not letting it bug me when I wasn't in the mood for it. It's something I check on my own time when I feel like it, and I can make it go away whenever I want. It has to be opt-in. Like when I'm in the right mood for it, it's awesome. If I'm not in the right mood for it, it's not happening. This, really should be true of all software, but it's especially true for all the things. I gotta be in the right mood. Off until later in the X-Pack, then I'll go back to complete what I can. It's great if you're just kind of like looking for something to do, or you're curious about what you could get in a zone that you might not have had yet, because it'll break things down by zone. You can get a mini list where it'll show you how complete a zone is, and what you need, like what you're missing if you wanted to complete it. So you could take that into any of the midnight zones. It'll show you all kinds of stuff. Or you can pull up a category of items like we did with the delves. Just get an idea of what's still to come. Great, but I have to turn it off too. Yeah. I just flat out disable it whenever I know I'm not going to be using it for a little bit. It was good though. It's one I always come back to. I don't think I'll ever completely get rid of it. It's not the most intuitive interface to navigate right off the rip. I used to prefer different add-ons for tracking things like missing transmog. I remember I used to be a Menar's wardrobe helper person just because I liked the way it broke things down a little better and I found it easier to navigate, but I've kind of adapted to all the things now. I'm actually very curious about what my zone completion looks like. I bet it's awful. I still need to finish Sojourner in Voidstorm. I was working on it on my warrior while I was leveling. Maybe we'll do some of that today. Good morning. Good morning, Flauto. How you doing? I don't need to see that I'm only 16% complete. Yeah, I get it. I almost prefer being like just starting it like that because there's so many possibilities. Like there's lots of easy things that will still progress it. 88% is the worst because usually by the time you get to around 85, 90%, the things that you need to finish it suck. I think I'm still to this day probably like 89% or something done with Undermine, and I don't think I'll ever get much farther than that because the diminishing returns are just brutal. Like actually fully completing Undermine. I'm sure there are people that have done it. There's probably not many. Miss Aki's recipe list for tracking recipe drops. Lovely. Wish I had coffee though. Fair. I had an iced coffee this morning. I had it at my desk. I was running a little late this morning. I didn't get out of bed with any particular level of alacrity. Your ATT raid marathon gave me an extra month of WoW content I was really enjoying. When we were like going back and trying to complete raids and all the things on stream. Like Employee of the Month. Yeah. Part-timer, which is the other way to get Chetmate. Because Employee of the Month, I think, is a feat of strength and not an achievement. So I'm allowed to not do that one. Part-timer, I did. Not many people have done that. It's you gotta really stick that one out. And a lot of people prioritize using their chet list for rep instead of using them for Chetmate. So you had to really want to collect that one to do it. But yeah, just getting all of the miscellaneous Mechanica stuff. And then even, I mean, that's probably the worst part, but even beyond that, trying to get specific items to drop from shipping and handling. I needed just like a handful of things that just wouldn't drop, and you have such a low chance to even get a thing. And the shipping and handling jobs would just bug and bug and bug and bug, and you only got a thing if you successfully got a streak, so you'd get a streak to like 7, and then your job would bug, and then you couldn't finish your streak, and you would just wasted a bunch of time for nothing. It was really frustrating. I got a lot of that mug done. I didn't finish it, and I never will, I don't think. Hope things are good your end, Hazel. They are doing good, I think. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Been busy around here. Spring's starting to spring, although the weather needs to warm up more. I got tomatoes I gotta put outside. I'm sick of having them in my kitchen. I'm this close to just chucking them in the compost and then just buying some from the garden center. I've had them February, March, 2.5 months now. They are getting chunky. It's getting warmer during the day and it's getting sunnier, but it's still so cold at night. It's still freezing at night. I can't believe that. I'm so mad about it. There's nothing more useless to be mad about than the weather, too. Like, who are you even going to complain to? What do you even expect to happen? Got part-timer. Didn't get the miscellaneous Mechanica stuff. Didn't max rep with Dark Fuse either. Close enough, probably go back eventually. If they ever do another one of those rep events, it's always a good time to do it. Dark Fuse wasn't too bad. Dark Fuse came together pretty quick. Dang, Mater's getting on your nerves. Go outside already. And some peppers. I got some jalapeno peppers. I also got some hollyhocks, which are, I guess, a kind of flower. I forget why I even started the seeds inside, but those are getting pretty big too. I'm just gonna chuck them into corners of my garden and see if they make flowers. I hope they do. My dream was to have like lots of different things that would have lots of different kinds of flowers to support lots of different like butterflies and birds and bees and flies and whatever. And the garden's got a lot of that going on already, but wouldn't mind some more. Love a little color. Love growing a flower. It's so exciting when it opens. If you're gonna chuck them, you might as well try and plant them. Maybe they could be covered at night. That sounds like a lot more work than chucking them. If it did come to that, I would maybe try to plant them, and then they would be left to their own devices. Sink or swim, baby. No, I'll hold on to them for another couple of weeks. Hopefully, in another couple of weeks, it turns around. If it's still freezing into May, though, they're on my last nerve. Afternoon. Good afternoon. I hope everything's going well with ya. It's going good? Yeah. Doing some delves today. Yeah, I feel like I could if I kept going. And especially if I did like really high level delves on a bunch of characters, I feel like I could just finish my delve journey this week. Possible. I know some people must be done already. If I don't see you, good evening and good night. What a movie. Rings a bell, but I don't remember from what. Oh, hey, banner. Truman Show. Oh, you know, I haven't seen it. It's been kind of vaguely on my list forever. One day I'll get around to it. I'll trip on it. I'll be scrolling through and I'll be like, oh hey, blank has this, and then I'll watch it, but... Jim Carrey's best movie. How dare you speak harm on the Grinch like that? What are you trying to say about my boy in Whoville? Did that delve this morning, couldn't watch while the people were being eaten. Also, there's noise. Aw. Finally watched it when all the Jim Carrey clone drama went down. I'm not even gonna ask. I feel like there was a whole subgenre of like young adult fiction that I came across in like the school library as a kid that involved finding out as a child that you are a clone. I had one of a girl that found out that she was a clone of like a... Oh, I don't know. It was like a whole genre. I wonder if it's just like basically a trope in young adult literature about feeling like you don't belong or feeling like there's something wrong with you. Because I think everybody feels like that, and that would just be an interesting way of exploring it, I guess. I don't know. I haven't thought a lot about clones since I turned 13. I feel like that was about the cutoff. Needs to go on your to watch list, Hazel. It's a great movie. Okay. I don't watch a ton of movies these days. I don't know. I'm hard. I'm picky. I'm boring. I don't know. I don't know what my problem is. It's really hard for me to watch stuff that I haven't seen before. And I've been having a hard time. Not that this is an actual problem, it's not. But like getting into shows that I haven't seen before that are like fiction. Like scripted fiction shows. I've tried a bunch of them, and even like arguably really good ones, I'll watch it and I'll be like, well, that was good, and I'll have no desire to watch any more of it. And just, I don't know, broken. Reminded me of a novel, The House of the Scorpion. Oh. Where am I going? Oh, I'm ready to finish it. I don't need to go get another Nemesis pack. We're all good. He showed up to an event looking like he may have had bad surgery. People went to conspiracy level, said it was a different person, that the real Jim Carrey was taken out. That's not fun. It's a tiny bit fun. I would, I think, be like really freaked out if people started saying that I wasn't me. I don't like to think about what that would do to my psyche if people didn't believe that I was me anymore. That seems like a real quick way to mess someone up in the brain. It's bad enough when you start feeling like you're not me all by yourself without other people validating it. Let's give Lear a little power infusion. That always helps. I think maybe if I finish Dells for the day, I might do some alt leveling. I might take my Fury Warrior around more Voidstorm quests. Keep cranking out Sojourner. Wait, I'm not watching that Hazel clone? Cloning me, I think, would be a terrible waste of money. You're not exactly getting like a stellar example of the human gene expression. There's a couple of bugs in this model. I would pick a different one. Okay. What happened? 250 Delver's Journey. Yeah, I'm not going to grind that all out this week. I think next week it'll come really quick. Thing. At least I can DE this too and like sell crystals. I get a lot of epic gear. That is a champion warbound cloak. Oh, that'll be nice. Extra undercoins. Do I have 10k undercoins yet? Yes. Alright, time to buy a pet that I'm not that enthused about. May as well just do it. Get it out of the way. Get it over with. You clone yourself. She prefers Guild Wars 2 over WoW. You aren't Hazel. How'd you get on this stream? Who gave you the keys to the Empire? It's a Shrimpire. I should probably also take a quick check at the crafting board and see if there's anything that I can do patron order wise for just like quick moxie, because I know I'm going to keep needing more of that for recipes, decor recipes, so I may as well for both professions, because I want to craft a bunch of decor. And I don't have that many recipes yet. A lot of them come from Sulfural Soiree. Oh, my concentration's full as well. These, I used to be able to mess over these and have them tell me what they wanted, but this one is, I mean, how much are we talking? Terrible use of concentration, but I have some anyway, so I may as well. Yeah, 30, that would be good. I've done my weekly already, so that's no problem. Just want to make sure I have enough extra moxie to keep shopping for recipes. What about alchemy? That's not alchemy. Over here. Keep forgetting to do my Argentina quest. Oh! Now that you mention it, I think I've also forgotten to do my Argentina quest. Should take a look. We'll pop in after this. Oh, look at all this. Okay. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. I'm sure there's catch-up knowledge in here for me as well. Augment runes sell well enough to be worth spending a little bit of gold to do an order on. I find sometimes my 2 craft number, this, is not considering the fact that I'm not supplying all of the mats. 8 Tranquility Bloom is not worth that much. Refreshing syrup. Refreshing! Oh yeah, let's get maybe 5. I don't know if I'm going to keep trying to sell extra decor, but I'd like to at least be able to make it for myself. And that way, if down the road I end up wanting more of it, I can just make more copies of it. No drama, no problem. I think that my gold making for this expansion now is probably just going to go towards getting like decor for my house, I think. Oh, that's way too much. Can't do that. That's more like it. Yeah, see, I have to see what the Argentina decor is like. I wonder if there's like a list of them somewhere in all the things that I can view, probably. We have some... I would have gotten a couple of these guys we can sell. Yeah, a couple thousand gold there. Alright, let's go check out the Argentina. I love the portal animation. I think it looks so good. Are those sausages? Okay. Hello. Choose one of these rewards. What do you mean choose? Also, I feel like the anchor for sure. The banner looks nicer, but the anchor I feel like is more usable in my house. I could put it by my fishing stuff. I wonder if I'll need to. Probably not. Wonder if I'll need to switch to a DPS spec for this. I haven't been here in a minute. I miss this. What a lovely zone this was. I know it's just like sand and ruins, but it's like an especially pretty and, you know, like satisfying color palette of sand and ruins. They look kind of buttery. I liked Vol'dun. BFA had some phenomenal zones. Nazmir was really cool. Zandalar was kind of, or Zuldazar was, I liked the jungle, but it was a little bit more vertical, and I didn't spend as much time out there. Do I have enough? Nope, not yet. I wonder if I need to acquire the anchor and the tapestry if I want to put them in the Argentina. Probably, right? One would think. Maybe not. I don't know. Huh. Looks like Molly's up. I liked BFA. The Witch's Zone was spooky. Yeah, Drustvar was really cool. I wouldn't mind a BFA remix. I might kind of get a kick out of that nostalgia. One ornamental anchor. Good day. Good day to you, Lady Danielle. How you doing today? I was doing some delves. I think I've used up my keys. Have I? Yeah, I've used up my keys in this character, so if I wanted to do any more, it would be on my Hunter. Or I could get back to leveling on my Fury Warrior. That might be kind of nice, too. Let's see where we left her. I would only like the BFA remix to get the Darnassian Hippogriff mount I missed. Every time someone uses that beautiful mount and I see them, my soul dies a little. Apart from that, Shadowlands remix, please and thank you. Oh yeah, level 86. Also, I forgot how sick this gnome is. I can't put her in a warband. I can't put her in a camp because, like, you won't get to appreciate how phenomenal the whole fit is. Crinkle, best name ever. She's gorgeous. Miss the ambience music from Borealis. How dare you have it while I don't. I thought it made a good, like, gnome name. Just kind of sounds like a Santa elf kind of name. Powder for Silverman curtains, huh? Well, it's warbound, so I guess I can put that into my warbank. Oh yeah, and she rides around a bee, that's right. She must have lots of rested by now. She must be swimming and rested. I was working on Sojourner of Voidstorm. I had made this much progress so far on this character. Not too bad. Hello, Mr. Sonic Gen. I hope you're having a lovely Friday. I'm gonna take Inksy. Or not Inksy, Crinkle. Getting my gnomes mixed up over here. I'm gonna take Crinkle and I'm gonna go do some Fury Warrior leveling in Voidstorm. I have a Voidscar Arena quest that may or may not be necessary. I guess I can just queue for it specifically. Sit in queue while I do all my other questing. I know I could do a follower dungeon, but I feel like it's not worth my life. It would just be slow. Slow. So I'm holding on to my Delver's Call quest. I'm going to hold on to those until kind of like 88.5, I think. And yeah, I'm going to go continue the quest that I was working on last time. And also, if there's any world quests that are just like sitting here waiting for me like this, don't mind if I do. What am I going to get for doing this? A ring. I miss Sky Race world quests. I appreciate when we get something like this that lets us sky ride, but I miss the races. I loved those. I even kept doing them after they toned down the bribery and didn't give us as much gold anymore. I was doing them in the War Within just because they were close by. You know, just fun. Plain fun. That's an upgrade. Anything super... I mean, I could get some... I could definitely get some gear. I think we shouldn't worry about it too much. Races were also an excellent source of easy XP for alts. Yeah, Sky Races and Pet Battles, both like nice sort of world quest to hit on an alt that didn't gave you a little break from learning your new class. The Gnawing Reach. I wonder if they mean like the area. Yeah, probably. Where'd my Bloodthirst go? Oh, there it is. I think I need that button. That's an important one. Do I need to get any... No, I think we're doing okay. I spent a long time working on quests that wanted me to use a special item. On corpses, and I would just like kill them and then wander away and not realize what I had done wrong. 89%, so I am getting progress. Should maybe work on freeing the familiar shades. I got the Void Gurgle! Excuse me. Cuddly Void Gurgle. Put some respect on his name. Congratulations. It's nice that they leave drops up for like a month. Appreciate that. I think a lot of people get them done in the first couple of days, but it's nice to have the option to kind of slink in and still grab them later in the month. If you either didn't hear or you were away or whatever it might be. Another plushie next week? Are they really doing another one? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, they can just roll those forever if they want. Is it another color of the same one? That's funny. Yeah. Fliz is really just gonna drown us in Murloc plushie recolors. What color is this one? Pearl? It's like white? Is this a cake? I saw a cake. I'm so confused. We need a Bronto plushie. Was hearing about another plushie. I'll have to look into it. Gotta make a news video today anyways, so. April 23rd. That makes sense, because I think... Yeah, this is April 23rd is when the last drop ends. So they're just going to roll a brand new one right on the end of it. I'll take it. Collect them all. Another color for my plushie shelf in my house. I can't even tell if I'm doing Sojourner quests anymore. I guess I must be. I'm getting Singularity rep finally. My Singularity and my Harati rep are both super behind. The two zones that you have to port to, I guess I tend to not make it out to. Although I do want to make sure I get a... Also, I'm really bad at following people. I don't know if you can tell. Decimus! Decimus! I don't know if this is relevant. Probably not. The character's got about 17k gold that I don't think I started with. Although I wonder if she's just going to break even by the time she's enchanted all of her gear. Oh, here he is. take it. It was a Moni rep that I think I can buy a bear now. Although at 19 I can buy another mount. I'm gonna need more Marl, I bet. I think I'm pretty low on Voidlight Marl. I cannot hear his name without hearing the full Gladiator monologue. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, Commander of the Armies of the North, General of Felix Legions, etc. etc., etc. That's Russell Crowe, right? Or am I making that up? And we're back. Oh, yeah, okay, that does count. I know that Decimus is involved in the 1205 stuff, so I was a little bit worried I was just doing that prerequisite again, but I think that was brand new. I think I'm all good there. In Gladiator? Yeah, okay. Good. Good. The thing that I do as an adult that makes me feel the most like my parents is play the what do I know him from game, or what do I know this actor from whenever watching something. Like, partner and I will be watching something and we'll pause it and we'll be like, where is that person from? And then we'll guess for a while and then we'll look it up. And I think this is a time-honored tradition of like random adults watching movies and or TV everywhere. Why does he look familiar? Where is that guy from? Love that game. Are you any good at it? I'm not so good at it. Anybody that disappears into a role at least a little bit, I'm not going to be able to place. I can only pick out the people that are always kind of playing themselves. Sometimes. I remember watching Jessica Jones and thinking, oh my goodness, where do I recognize the corrupt lawyer from? Is that David Tennant? I remember he was in that, but that might not be the right property. Carrie Ann Moss, Trinity. Gotcha. It's been a little bit. Yeah, David Tennant is in it. I'm just not thinking of the right character. Mm-hmm. His Jessica, so classic for me. Oh, hey, dungeon. This might take a while. I feel like the dungeons aren't that efficient. Even if you have the quest, it's still kind of only sort of okay. But I think I need it to get my quest line done. Plus, it'll be fun to DPS a dungeon. Here, let's turn on meters and see if I'm helping. Am I doing it? I think I'm doing it. Casting the astoundingly affable David Tennant as a supervillain was a masterpiece. Oh. Alright. Let's see. How are melee supposed to live? What are you supposed to do? There's stuff in my way. This is kind of fun. I could mess with this. I think this would be fun. Get them before they get you, I think. Holding my CDs now. It's weird not having to worry about healing. Like, I guess all I have to do is hit things and try not to take more damage than necessary. Oh, I can't stun him. That would be too easy. Oh, yeah, battle show. Yeah! Yeah! Melee rules make him die before you do. You're also supposed to, like, run around a bunch, right? Like, charge up like little Energizer bunnies. Oh no, our tank's gone! Where'd they go? What happened? Running optional. Oh. Someone pulled the boss. Or a mob, I guess. I guess we can try and do it. I wonder if they switch specs or if they're just, good casting in that series. Which TV show do you feel like was the best cast in general? Open question, open conversation. See if we get any, like, repeat answers here. I'll try and think of something too, but Deadwood has to be high on the list. Game of Thrones, 100%. Game of Thrones had some good casting. Trying to think of anybody that was cast there that I, like, wouldn't have picked. I think they were all pretty perfect. Breaking Bad, Scrubs too. Stargate SG-1. Oh, we got a tank. They're coming. I'm gonna slash cheer when they get in. Woo! I want to do a big pool with cooldowns. I guess I can just wait for... There's gonna be a boss in this room, looks like. What are we talking about? Oh, I was asking people what they thought was the best cast show ever. Couple of good answers here. In a Way, Always Sunny. Stranger Things nailed it. It's so hard to cast child parts and not know how people are gonna, like, grow up and stuff. I'm assuming. I don't know. I've never cast anybody for anything in my life. I feel like some of the hardest casting is to get an adaptation casting right. Because if something's written originally for TV, you can almost, like, write your parts around your actors either initially or over time. Whereas trying to nail casting for a property that has existed for a long time, that people have a lot of preconceptions about how a character is like and what they would look like and how they would act, way harder. So I feel like it's more impressive for me when an adaptation does really good casting and gets very close to a lot of people's vision, because that's a hard target to hit. movie-wise. Ford versus Ferrari. Partner, big F1 fan, but OMG, all the celebrities in that movie. Harry Potter movies, perfect casting. Yeah. I think some people's remembrance of the book characters gets shaped a little bit around that. Like, I love Alan Rickman in that role. It's hard to argue that he was pretty old for it, though, at the time. You look different. Hi, Ujai. How are you? Happy Friday. Thank you very much for the 68-month resub. You know, if you stick with me for one more month, you get a funny number. Ah? Tempting. Not a TV show, but this is reminding me how bad the casting announcement for the Beach Read adaptation is for the male main character. Beach Read. You know what? I just might think about it, yeah? Think about giving us one more month. Yeah, this is a long dungeon, huh? I was gonna be like, why don't I remember this one? But it's not part of the current season, is it? It's an Emily Henry rom-com. I'm assuming that's a name. That's an author. First name Emily, last name Henry, not like two leads. Favorite of hers, but haven't read them all. Gotcha. Anything big change? You wanted another camera perspective? I needed to shuffle my desk around to make room to put a shrimp aquarium in my office. And it would only work if I had the camera on the other side, just the way that the monitor shaked out. It's a good reason, right? Yeah, pretty big. When was the last time you stopped by? There might be other big stuff you haven't heard yet. I don't know what you know. How caught up do you feel like you are? Did the blinding veil the other day while leveling, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. It's been a while. Hit me with everything. Let me see if I can unwisely, not a word, do this. I'm DPSing. This is what DPS are doing, right? Hang on. Ah, hang on. We lost him. What do you think? Holy. Oh no, I've died. I deserve that. If you've ever wondered why your pug DPS are dying, that's why. People may or may not like the live-action Popeye movie, but the casting was incredible. Thought you just had a random cat picture on the screen. There's some babies. Oh, I'm getting a battle res. Wow, thanks. Alright, I will pay attention this time. I'll hold my cooldowns though. How are you supposed to DPS through that as a melee? You just don't, huh? There we go. Kick reason watching cat photos. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get both. There's a little bit of concern for the health of the little one. I'm hoping to visit him again soon. Monday, I'll see him Monday at the latest, but I wouldn't mind trying to sneak away later today if I get the news video done fast. If you're watching the news video tomorrow and you're like, why is this 4 minutes long? It's because I ditched it early to go see kitties. This is not gonna be good for me. They're both a little one. Yeah. I can't share names. Well, I could share names. I'm not sharing names yet because we're not 1000% committed. They're boys. They're brothers. They're babies. I met them at the cafe. and then they were, well, I met the bigger one, and then they were adoptable, and then he fell asleep on my lap. And then I took some pictures of him, and then I went home, and I was looking at the pictures of us, and I was like, ah! Uh-oh. Boy, Kitty's so cuddly. I've heard that. I always took it personally whenever I used to hear that, because I've heard it from lots of people. And I was always like, what are you trying to say about my girl? What are you trying to say about my baby girl? She is the queen of cuddles. She is the picture of affection. Alright, that hurts. I don't know if we can pull like that. This is a hard dungeon. We're just leveling, but it's tough out here. Just in general? Yeah. I know a boy cat that's not cuddly at all. I hope these ones are. I'll love them anyway. I'll love them no matter what. I'll love them even if they hate me and they bite me every day. They can wake up and walk over me and go meow and then throw up on my feet and then chomp my big toe, and they could do that every day on the reg, and I would love them anyway. Made the cover of Cuddly Monthly. I don't think I've gotten a special battle pet from this dungeon. I haven't gotten a lot of special drops from dungeons yet. Oh, I see. I think when I get the red swords, I'm supposed to press Rampage. I think that's true. We're talking about cats. Cats are kids, because my kid does that too. Good morning, parent. Blah. Chomp. I met family recently, met their cats. Boy and a girl. The girl eventually sat next to me on the couch after like 3 days, and the boy one I've basically not seen the entire time. I'm gonna try and actually help a little bit more. A couple more interrupts. Those screamers. I don't know if you can range. You must be able to range that. He'd always bolt as soon as I entered the same room, so results may vary. I like that the accomplishment with the other cat was after 3 days, sat next to me on the couch. Although when you've been like, I don't know, wanting to meet a cat for 3 days and they finally go, I suppose I could sit near you, it feels like the most amazing thing. It's like, oh my god, you picked me. A lot of the affections of the cat, nature versus nurture. I think it's both. I think some of them are just going to naturally be more cuddly, but I also think that handling the heck out of them when they're babies can help. Both very shy, maybe especially with men. Yeah, it happens. It's nice of you to be understanding. I don't know how I'm ever gonna put those 2 babies down. Like, not like down, but just like out of my hands, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how I'm ever gonna let them walk on the floor. I'm just gonna wanna be like, what? One in this hand, one in this hand. Yeah, no, phrasing. Phrasing was struggling there a little bit. They're gonna live for 50 years, I've decided. Everybody is. Kira too. During the visit, I went for a walk, saw a cat, and she came up to me and rubbed against my leg, so I know it's not just me. They just Didn't want anything to do with me. What am I supposed to do? Maybe kill this? Maybe stun it? Nope, not stunnable. I don't know what's going on in this dungeon. I haven't done this one in a while. Once they sink those needle claws in, yeah. I'm so excited to see how they eventually get along with Kira and Moose too. Like, I'm not gonna rush anything. We're gonna take that slow. We're gonna let everybody get used to each other. Reasonably. But, man, if Moose manages to win his way into being, like, besties with any of them, oh, I will perish. I will expire. I will fade away like a mirage. Warrior's fun. I'm all movie and stuff. And you can kick me back and I can just go pew! I probably should make a habit of hanging out next to the tank, huh? That's where the frontals go when there are frontals, anyway. I don't know when there's frontals, but if I never hang out next to the tank, they'll never get me. Oh my gosh, there's another boss still. These people aren't even on this quest. I'm gonna get, like, some experience. Get a bunch of rep. Oh, this reminds me of Midnight Falls. This flashbacks. This is a little bit of, memories over here. I guess if I hurt, I can always use my victory rush kind of thing. Harder to see things coming at you when they're coming through the boss and you're like looking at the boss. Not impossible, but not as natural to me. Our male Tux cat was hanging out on top of our fridge, so I got a cozy mat. Now he's sleeping there every day and I never don't love it. Yeah, that's a good idea. Part of me just wanted to put like little fuzzy like mats and pads and blankets and stuff in like all kinds of various corners and furniture tops and be like, everything is a cat bed. Sleep wherever you want. My bed is my cat's bed. It is fun getting to do AoE pulls that somebody else is tanking. That's not something that you do a ton of while you're leveling. I have to tank them if I'm pulling them. Just me, or am I not doing that much damage? I'm doing fine. I'm doing as much damage as anybody, but like, this is just slow. I feel like the leveling dungeons are scaled kind of funny. This is harder than you would expect it to be for just like a random leveling normal dungeon, right? According to my cat, I'm in his bed, but I love it. Tiny little overlords. You are leveling in a warrior? I am! I'm leveling a Fury warrior. I started it on April the 1st because I thought it was kind of funny. Or I started leveling it. It's the warrior that I've had previously. But it's kind of fun. Seems like a perfectly good next alt to level. I'm feeling about finished with my hunter. Like I've kind of geared her as much as I wanted to. Done what I needed to do. It feels kind of nice to get another one up and running here. I don't know what Void Leash does, but I'm trying to kick as many of them as I can. I have a gnome fury warrior named Polly, which was, funnily enough, randomized. Sometimes they take longer to kill in leveling dungeons in Mythic Plus, depending on the scaling of the specific group members. Yeah. Yeah, I think, it's a bit tough. Everybody's also leveling, so, like, I don't expect people to, like, have their classes unlock and stuff. If there is a place to be learning, it would be here. Not like you? Oh no, I'm an expert. I'm about to take over Wowhead class writing. Definitely. Yep, don't totally know what I'm doing. Look, I'm winning. Is alt leveling going to be easier next week? Did they say anything about it? Not to my knowledge. I didn't hear anything. Or if I did, I forgot. I will say the way it's set up now really makes you feel like you've earned the alts that you have. You really work for them. I think it makes me less likely to just level and then ditch them immediately. I'm going to do at least a couple of weeks of content. Is Mop time walking next week? That might help. I have tuned into your stream many times and just want to say whenever I watch, it feels like a really good vibe. Chill to watch. Keep it up. Aw, thank you. That's actually a really nice compliment, because I think anybody can have a good vibe for a few minutes, but must really mean something if it's nice every time you come by. That's nice. We try. We do our best anyway. Alright, this is the last boss. What does it do? I do not know. Just when I haven't been here in a while. Yeah, maybe you just tuned in for the chill moments. The moment you leave, I'm like, alright. It's my time to yell. Who needs a good verbal lashing? Which one of you needs a talking to? I'll get ya. Gravitic orbs. Not as much fun as gravid orbs, which are full of eggs. Do I want to, like, maybe put my marble in the ping pong hole? Is that what I'm doing? Is that a good idea? I don't know. I did it! It's done now. Oh no. Excuse me? I was thinking about fish. I got more fishies. My tanks are fully stocked now. And my Rasbora were breeding before I finished stocking. They were mating and laying eggs. So I was thinking about... That's what you call a fish or a shrimp when it's carrying eggs, is gravid, full of eggs. Finally organically found one of the missing pets for Safari? Ooh, very nice. But what is the marble and what a ping pong hole? Oh, pinball. I was thinking about pinball. I was trying to sink the marble in pinball. Or I guess it's not a marble, I guess it's a pinball, but you know what I mean. I said ping pong, I meant pinball. Sure, it's some of the same letters. Dude, I was calling out shapes on Heroic Midnight Falls last night, and there's a diamond and a triangle, and they both have a similar sounding first syllable of the word and like pointy bits, and I was having like a minor stroke-like event. Learned Gravid from WoW, actually. The Koresh Conservatory questline. Oh! I can't believe that came and went already. Feels so long ago. Ping pong pinball. Oh, I don't have this. Here, I'll roll for it. I rolled a 62. That's probably not good enough. Nope, definitely not. But I did get my quest done. Thank you very much. Might just switch to colors. Well, they're all blue! They're all blue! It's part of the actual fight. Diangle, Trimond, X. Trimond? Yeah, see? Broken. Busted. Diangle, Trimond, X. Circle, T. Love a good Trimond. You hear me call it Trimond in the raid, everybody's just like, ah! Trimond, dangle. Dingle bongle. It's a Darkle. I turned my push-to-talk off because I figured I couldn't heal and hold down my push-to-talk key to call out the shapes. But then I forgot I had my push-to-talk on and I started making my little gurgly gremlin noises that I do when the shapes are first coming out to like memorize them. Terribly embarrassing. I want to turn the Voidscar Arena quest in. I feel like it might be good experience. The Gurple Squirrel. Always a good laugh when someone forgets their push-to-talk. We get an occasional raider who forgets that they're on voice activation and they're like talking to their like their wife or their kids or something, and it's a lot of like, hey, yeah, I think it's in the upstairs closet. And it's just funny because like they don't know that everybody can hear them. And luckily it's nothing more personal than I think it's in the upstairs closet. Are you sure your skates aren't in your bag? I don't know, I'm just gonna take gloves. Hey! I don't know if that like finished a questline for me or not. I got some rep. That's nice. Did you finish the pit? I did. It's over. What do I do now? It was really good. Yeah, no spoilers. I just liked it. I'm looking forward to another season. Kind of a sick mount is that? Pretty cool. That is the Honeyback Hive Mother, which is incidentally from... Hang on. I've made poor choices about how much to pull over here. Ah! Sadness. BFA meta. That's a BFA meta mount. Sad it's over. Guess I have to get my fix of medical drama at work. I wasn't sure if you were watching the pit or not because I thought it might be too... I know some people that work in healthcare find it's like too real, like it's too triggering. I'm glad that there's gonna be more of it, like without an insanely long wait though. Some TV shows, they put out a season, they're like, yep, we'll see you again in 2032. So it'll be nice to get some on a regular, normal time schedule. Intender support, thank you very much for the 18-month resub. Happy gaming, happy gaming. Also, Peppo110 had a brand new Prime sub a couple minutes ago. Thank you so much, Peppo. Yeah, Pluribus comes to mind. That is who I was reading when I said that. I like the Pluribus Season 1, but I guarantee you by the time they finally get done with Season 2, I will not remember what's going on. I want to dive in there, but it's not a good idea, but I want to do it. Yeah, we can do it. It's fine. Everything's fine. I don't know why I died the first time. Mismanagement of my cooldowns. Still struggling with the Johnny mount. Never get the world quests right. It's a tough one. Season 2 is almost always not as good. Can genuinely be an amazing rapper. I think that I lack the necessary swagger. I think that I can speak well and quickly. I have a grasp on the general concept of rhythm. However, I have no confidence, and I think that is kind of a problem. Yeah, we got no Riz. The Riz bar is empty. There's only so far you can get without any belief in yourself. You gotta respect a charisma. I have spent a long time learning the lesson that it is not likable to just start bigging yourself up with bravado. It is not going to help you socially in a group of human beings. Alright, this is gonna hurt. No. I can't. I don't know why I keep trying that pull. I just feel like I can do it. The fused vitality for crafting equipment is evil. It just talked me out of it. I don't think I'm ever going to make that equipment. I'm just going to live with the blue stuff. I just won't craft that hard. Almost could. What I would need to do is get better at making sure I'm killing something regularly enough to get a lot of impending victory off. I think that would help. But maybe it's just too many, like the big guy is a problem or something. Oh, they're coming in. We're gonna try again. Is there a bleed? It's a poison. That's what's... Oh, it's so close. I think the poison hurts a lot. It may be scaled funny. Or maybe I'm just not as big and brave as I thought. Oh no, not the res timer. Oh, they're doing me dirty with the res timer. That's not what you want to see. Alright, well, we killed enough of them anyway, so that's good. The worst thing they've ever done. It is certainly a really big commitment if you want to have the very best crafting gear. Or, yeah, profession gear. I think they like having high friction grinds to get the very best profession secondary stats to weed out people like me that are too lazy to do it, so that people that do put in the effort to get it done don't have as much competition and can therefore make more profit. I think it's kind of a way of making really dedicated crafting more profitable. The more friction you add, the less people get there and the less competition you have. It's kind of a tricky game. Just don't do it. Feels like a pretty easy choice for me. No fun, don't do, right? That's what I'm doing. Gold making in professions is just kind of a funny thing to design for, because if you make it really easy, there's no barrier to entry, everybody does it, it's too saturated, there's no profit, it's not worth the time. And if you make it really hard, people get kind of cranky, but the people that stick with it will then have the profit. So you got to make it kind of a little bit annoying and a little bit hard and a little bit of an investment. Because otherwise there's no skill ceiling there and there's no actual gold to be made if you do stick with it. Obviously, there's probably a humane upper limit to how annoying they should make it to be perfect at your professions, but I do see why they keep flirting with that line. I already have a job. I don't need another one in WoW. Yeah. Already enough to them with concentration and stuff. Yeah, learning the system in general is already a pretty good barrier to entry. What's the news video gonna be? We got a couple of new pieces of news about 1205 we can cover. Leveling archaeology of my alchemist. I want the dragon mount. Still liked it more in Dragonflight. Now I'm over it. I definitely did a lot more of it in Dragonflight. I went really deep into it in Dragonflight. I think I could have done that this time around, but it's just... I'm doing too many other things. I like the rest of the game too much, and I don't have very much downtime anymore to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to spend a ton of time on this. Like, I'd rather just level some alts and do some delves, I guess. That's what I've been doing. Yeah. Big pull, big pull, big pull. That was terrible. I was targeting the caster. I then tabbed to every target but the caster. Targeted, tabbed back to the caster, sent my kick after the cast was over. What a clown show. I got a question. Introvert people usually need a reassurance that they are not doing anything wrong. When I give them reassurance that their input is welcome, they shy away. I don't know, help me. Part of it may be that introverted people are not a monolith, and different people kind of function differently. Especially if they feel like they're being called out when other people aren't. Like, if I'm just in a group and people are kind of like making a point to call out my contributions, and I feel like they're just normal contributions, I'm gonna be like, wait, what's wrong with me? Why am I getting the weird thing? Like, I'm gonna overthink it because I'm anxious. It's a nice thought to have. I would maybe, as an experiment, start on a basis of just treating everybody the same and then seeing how people respond to that. And then kind of work from there, because everybody's different. It's a nice thought that you're thinking about them, though. Anything up here? Catch-up is so horrendous, don't know when I'm ever gonna finish the Dragonflight and Khazla-Gar ones. Oh, like knowledge catch-up? Or some other kind of catch-up? Sounds about right. My socially awkward thing of the week that I've been doing is when I try making conversation with cashiers, because that's kind of the only person that's a stranger that I'm ever really talking to on a regular basis. So like when I'm checking out of wherever, I will try with it when reasonable to kind of ask them how their day is going. And I think that's a nice thing to do. I never minded that when I worked retail. I hope I'm not being weird about it. And usually they'll say something along the lines of, oh, you know, good, how about you? And I'll say good. And then I'm out. And then we have the rest of the transaction where I'm the one who started this. You'd think that I would have more juice to carry a conversation, but it's just like, it just sinks. I've done this a bunch of times. I still think it's better than nothing, maybe. And mileage may vary, but I've definitely been feeling that one lately. Because I never want people to take my shyness or awkwardness as, like, rudeness. Like, I never want people to think that I don't like appreciate what they're doing for me or like want to treat them as a person just because I'm shy and awkward around people. And most people don't, but like, I don't know. I want to be nice. I want to be friendly. I want to be polite and respectful. And sometimes I don't always know how to get there. I think the bar's in hell when it comes to retail, so I'm sure I'm doing fine. I'm not yelling at people, so I think I've won, but like, oof. I joined 5 pugs in a row where everyone suddenly left. Do I smell bad? Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry. That sucks. That would get in my head. I'm sure it's not you. That's weird, though. It's annoying. How dare they? They don't know what they're missing out on. I need to find unwilling summons to send home. Is it this? It is that. I'm a barista. I like when people are like, how are you? But I'm also bad at carrying the convo. Sometimes I find the right thing to say, or the person will be naturally chatty and then they'll just have the right things to say. But sometimes when I can tell that we're both shy, it just dies. Unwilling summon sent home. Sometimes I can't see which side of the line of the area is the right one. It's a narrow one. Here we go. Hate checking out at Trader Joe's because they chat way too much for me. I love it when a cashier or other customer service worker, assuming that like we're just checking me out anyway and I'm not like being detained in an aisle. I love it when they're like super chatty and they have everything to say because I just get to kind of like nod along and vibe and feel like I'm participating in society. It's fantastic. I used to have one cashier I would run into at Canadian Tire who's like a school-aged kid, like maybe a college-age kid. And he reminded me so much of my friends when I was that age because he was so verbose and would say things that I feel like his bosses wouldn't want him to say. Like he would kind of talk smack about the company and like the hours and stuff. Like he would talk shop with like any customer and it was just really funny and like, but he had like all kinds of, you know, enthusiasm for life and opinions about stuff. Like I mentioned that I would maybe buy a lawnmower in the future while I was checking out like dog food. And he gives me like a whole speech about like lawnmower features to look for, completely like unsolicited. It's just, man, whatever they're paying you, it isn't enough. And you evidently agree. Natural born salesman. Yeah. Loved it. He also fully didn't remember me. Like every time I checked out with that one person, you would have like half of the same conversation over again. And I didn't mind. He sees a million people a day. The worst thing that people used to do to me when I worked retail is come back and be like, do you remember me? Yes. Like, it's like, well, now I feel bad, but it's weird that you need me to, you know? Like, what? A minimum wage over here, man. I would never do that to someone. Really want to avoid stores like TJ Maxx sometimes because I know they'll be trying to sell me credit cards. I always try to find whenever you get hit with one of those mandatory sales pitches, because I get it. I used to have to give those out. Not with credit cards, but, you know, I used to have to try and sell warranties and stuff. I always try to, like, listen to the polite amount of it, and then when offered an opportunity to speak, just kind of do the no thank you, or the thanks, but I'm not interested, or whatever, just like whatever the one sentence version of no is, and then just stop talking. just stare at them until they move on. Because people used to do that with me, and I would move on real quick. It was like, hey, if you don't want it, you don't want it. I'm not here to try to manipulate you into it. What do you think I am? Is that common in the USA? Sales pitches? Sure. Depending on your environment. Depending on where you're shopping. And what you're looking for and who you're running into. Places might try to sell you on signing up for a credit card or a warranty. Or like a subscription service or something. Any extras they can sell you on? Not everywhere, but some places. Makes me miss being a cashier in the garden center of a Lowe's. I loved a lot of the repeat elderly customers. I used to not mind like most people. I didn't really mind working work in retail and selling things to most people. Or like helping them find like laptops and stuff. I felt so bad for a lot of them. A lot of the people shopping, and mind you this was 2012 so maybe it's changed, but a lot of people shopping for a laptop, they needed one for like school or for their kid or like whatever. And they didn't really know what they needed and they didn't really care, and they walked into the aisle and they were just immediately stressed. Like you would see somebody walk in and just kind of look at them and go, ugh. And I felt so bad for them because it sucks. It sucks to shop for something like that when you feel like everything, you don't even know what you need or how much you should spend, or like you don't want to get the wrong thing, you don't want to waste money, you don't want to go too expensive or too cheap or whatever, and it's just like you've already got a headache. And I always felt for them. I always tried to help them as best as I could. Dude, the do you remember me makes me annoyed. Last week, operated with a scrub tech I've met one time with a scrub cap and masks on. Walked into the OR today, introduced myself to her, start getting ready to scrub. She goes, you don't remember me? I worked with you last week. I'm like, girl, I've met you once with 1,000 layers of PPE on. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it's such an easy bit of grace to people to not call something like that out, you know? Let people meet you a few times. I don't feel like it's rude if people forget you. I guess, like, depending on the format. There's probably a situation where you should remember people, but, like, I don't know. It's the easiest bit of grace to give people in the world of just, like, I don't know, pretend you're meeting them again a few times. It'll sink in. We'll catch up eventually. It's not personal. What am I doing this for? Or like I met a neighbor and they're like, I'm so sorry I forgot your name. That's okay. I don't mind. You can forget it as many times as you want. It's not like we're talking every week. The only reason I remember any neighbors' names is the day they tell me their name and I actually meet somebody. The moment they're gone, or like I go back into my house or whatever, I open my phone, I make a note with their names and then like any identifying details just so that I see it every time I open my phone notes, and then I kind of remember it. Because otherwise it's gone forever. Neighbors' names are hard for me. What job would you never bother even trying to do? Like, what job would I never want to get into or never want to have? Or if I had, I just wouldn't try, kind of thing. Never get offended when people I barely know say I forgot your name. Yeah. I fully expect people that I meet walking my dog to just know me as that lady with that one dog, you know? Or Moose's mom if they know Moose. I mostly remember dog names. Got done mowing what I could of my yard before it storms tonight. Very nice. Have to work. Going to unplug everything I can in case the power goes out, and there's a power surge. Sounds like you're getting some spicy weather. You're so mature and responsible getting it all together like that. Meanwhile, I'm just looking at the sky going, huh. Does that look dark to you? Honey, why is the sky weird? What kind of job would I never do? Lots of them, really. Things I wouldn't be suited for, things that I would feel a little bit ethically against. I wouldn't want to promote gambling to anybody. That would feel bad. I don't think I could work in like a casino. Not really my scene. I would make a terrible bartender. I would make a horrific bartender. I don't know drinks, I spill things all the time, and I can't talk to people. I'm 0 for 3. I think bartending's such an impressive skill set that I have 0% of. Forecast, possible 85 miles per hour wind gusts, large hail, heavy rain, possible tornadoes. Big storm. Good job you got your hatches battened down. Hate dealing with drunk people, that would be the worst part for me. I wonder if drunk people are harder to deal with than they used to be. I know that sober people apparently have gone downhill when it comes to customer service. I haven't worked customer service personally, but I've heard a lot of stories, and I've seen a lot of signs of, like, after COVID, a lot of people kind of forgot how to deal with people and just got, like, really abusive to strangers for some reason. And I feel like being drunk has to amplify that. Has to. Specialized liver collected. This is scary. I don't know if I want to pull that. That's an elite. Best friend is a bartender. The wine bar is great. The dive bar is awful. Global social IQ plummeting. Yeah. Worked in the ER in St. Patty's Day. That sucked. So many drunk people. Bartending is particularly weird. I always feel bad about asking the bartenders at my neighborhood bar to make me interesting cocktails, even though they've never refused or complained, and it is, after all, their job. I'm sure as long as you're not ordering something, like, really insane in the middle of, like, a huge rush, they're probably just happy to get to do something interesting. Wouldn't know, though. I'm not a bartender. As a barista, even when people ask for annoying drinks. Iced cappuccino. I'll make it. Am I supposed to be looting anything? Yeah, I'm looting some stuff. For real. People, I mean, maybe it's just a stereotype for movies, but it seems like some people go, like, insane with coffee shops. Like, they found out they could specialize every aspect of an order, and then they just, like, sky's the limit. There is no limit. The limit does not exist. Alcohol is crazy, and what it does to the body is so off-putting to a healthcare worker. I've seen people who drink 4 to 5 gallons of hard liquor a day, and I just can't comprehend. Yeah, it's one of those things that it's surprising how normalized it is for how harmful it can be, even at more moderate levels of intake. But people really don't like to talk about it, and they really don't like to hear about it because it's so culturally normalized and, like, traditional and a part of a lot of people's lives. No one wants to hear bad things about their favorite coping mechanism. I wouldn't either. There was a lot of trouble trying to correctly label it as a carcinogen in Canada, because there's studies about correlations between alcohol consumption, even moderate alcohol consumption, and cancer, and people do not want to hear it. Holy smokes. I get it. Life is short. You gotta live how you see fit. Life is short. Get the cat. Talk about how it's just as bad as many other substances that are highly illegal, but alcohol obviously isn't. Yeah. It's scary to me that it's one of those things that if you are dependent on it, you actually can't just quit on your own. Like, it's one of the things. I mean, you obviously know this, but, like, it's one of those things that, like, if you are, like, an alcoholic that's heavily dependent on alcohol, you can't just stop cold turkey. You'll die. You'll literally die. You need help. You need healthcare help to wean off of it. And that's just crazy to me. More likely to get cancer from the tomatoes in your grocery store than alcohol. And you heard it here first. Gotta love the internet. I think people are a lot more likely to want to be suspicious of the tomatoes than the beer. People are perhaps more attached to the beer than the tomatoes. Also, wash your produce, but, like, that's a given. We should all be washing our produce. One of the most miserable people I ever saw in the hospital was someone going through alcohol withdrawal. Definitely suspicious of tomatoes. At this point, anything can give me cancer. It's so hard to get accurate information online if you want to learn about cancer risk from different things, because it's the easiest thing in the world to fearmonger about. And any tiny, tiny hint of a study can be blown wildly out of proportion. And then as soon as it becomes, well, everything can give me cancer, then people go, well, whatever. If everything can give me cancer, then I'm just not going to worry about any of it. And then what you miss is finding out like what the real amounts of risk are and how to, you know, and like informedly manage them in your life. Like if you just hear someone saying that tomatoes are worse than beer with nothing to back that up, and you go, yeah, that sounds about right, then like how are you supposed to make informed decisions for yourself about like what? Because clearly we can't avoid everything. We literally can't avoid everything. So you're going to have to kind of pick your poison a little bit. And obviously some things are a lot more risky or dangerous or what have you than others. And it's hard to get that information clearly because there's so much misinformation online. Alcohol and benzos are the two that you cannot just stop cold turkey. They actually both act on the neurotransmitter, which is why we give benzos to treat alcohol withdrawal. Anyway. Scary out there. But there's also a lot of people that try to leverage how scary it is out there to frighten you into either clicking on something or selling you something. And it sends people down all kinds of weird rabbit holes that are ultimately more dangerous for them. Tough. It sucks that in some countries you can't really trust your healthcare authorities anymore to put out solid information. That used to be kind of the thing that you could just direct people to, and in some cases it's not effective anymore. Avoid alcohol, but that's because I have headaches. I like to self-medicate with cats and video games, honestly. I avoid my problems with a Hearthstone Battleground as much as anybody else that is playing too many Hearthstone Battlegrounds. Cats, WoW, books, home. You know. Just the light sniff of agoraphobia. Not full blown, just the essence of it, you know, just a... Have a little agoraphobia as a treat. I hope that in the rest of my time on Earth, I have lots of lovely cuddles and memories with cats and dogs and people. I want to meet lots of animals. That's about it. I'm thinking, am I doing Prey? I'm not doing Prey, right? Somebody else is doing Prey. Decided I needed to get sober in 2021. Got a decent pre-built. Sold my drinking for Keystones. Nice. Betcha it's paid off the pre-built by now. Booze really adds up. Never Keystone to drive. I can mine in this character. Also alcohol, expensive AF. Yeah. It's not that I can't afford to drink, but I would rather allocate that for something else. You know, like kitties. baby kitties. Baby kitty supplies, kitty litter, kitty food, kitty vet, kitty treats. Babies. Ow. Yeah, that sting, that poison sting that those guys do hurts a lot. Yeah, don't get a key UI. Every time I think about buying wine or something, I'm like, nah, it's just gonna make me tired and sleepy. The thing that always used to, like, irritate me about getting wine tired was that you don't even sleep as well. Like, it'll put you to sleep, but the sleep that you get sucks by comparison. It's like, how rude, you know? Like, if you're gonna knock me out, at least give me a good night's sleep. No. Doesn't for me either. I have normal addictions. I don't know if those things are addictions. Caffeine, sure. How are we doing over here? We are a couple bars into 87. Is this achievement coming along? I guess so. I still need another 6 quest lines. I wonder if I'm getting close to the end of this one. One of my addictions is Magic the Gathering. I've heard that one's dangerous. Magic and Warhammer seem right up there with how to spend a bunch of money. The hobby. At least it's how to spend a bunch of money on things that you enjoy quietly in your own home, but... If I end up moving to the Pacific Northwest, hope my motivation to go on hikes actually plays out and I don't end up just sitting at home like I do now. You could be like me and be like, I love hiking, and then you take 3 hikes and you go, yep, I did it, and then you stay home because you're sleepy. Yeah, I'll hike some other time. When? Really love the game and the art. Going to MagicCon Vegas May 1st. Oh, nice. That sounds like fun. Sometimes I really want to collect more commander decks because the art's pretty. There we go. There's a quest line done. Also an upgrade. Checking for upgrades. Yeah. Favorite Terry Pratchett quote is about addiction. 1 is too many, because 2 is not enough. I love Vimes. Vimes books were some of my favorite Discworld books. I have a pretty sheltered point of view. I'm not going to pretend to know everything. But I do know that I end up with enough problems just because I don't need to go looking for things that are well established to cause problems. Activities and substances with a long history, a long publicly known history of problem causing are maybe just good things to not include in my life because I gotta deal with myself as it is. I don't need to make it harder. Yeah, like World of Warcraft. Bizarrely enough, I feel like I could stand to be more into World of Warcraft. It might actually help me out. I like WoW. I play it regularly. I don't play a ton of WoW outside of stream unless I'm playing with friends. I don't have the same addiction to it that I used to. I had very little self-control with it in my teen years and in my early 20s. But maybe I finally played enough. I still like it, but I've smoothed out for sure. It's not a compulsion for me the way that it can be. Finally, managed to complete a pug. Nice. Doing a Hobbit collab in August. Only managed to get one Lord of the Rings one. That's good. It would be helpful to me for my profession to be a little bit more obsessed with the game, because then if I was covering news, I would have a little bit less of the struggle with who cares, because people care. But I think my problem is I just need to not worry so much about... You want to cover like the hot community topics that everybody's talking about or that there's been a lot of buzz about, because those are the things people will click on and those are the things that people want to discuss. But a lot of the time, the things that people tend to debate about in the WoW community, I run very quickly into this doesn't matter. Maybe because I'm not invested enough. It can't possibly be that everything that we're discussing is a bit silly. There's no way. WoW playing levels out, the more happy we are in our personal life outside of WoW. Yeah, that might be it. I don't necessarily need it to cheer me up or anything. I got it pretty good out here. That's Hearth. Let's go back to town for now. I got some good questing done. There's 5 branches of this left. I might be able to finish the Sojourner achievement and then turn in my Delve quest and then be level 90. Maybe I'll work on that this weekend. You want to talk about things people will click on as a quick route to the new patch killed WoW every 2 months. It's true, and I in theory don't want that, but like, if you asked yourself if it was going to be a really, I don't know, financially secure thing to do, would you do it? Apparently I wouldn't, but I'm increasingly think I probably should. Is it really that ethically bad of a thing to do? Will people even care? Can't stand all the rage bait content. I don't like it either. I try not to make it, but you can't argue that that's the meta, and people do it because it works. It works exponentially better than more measured and level content. It's just how it works. Anyway, I am going to wrap up for today. I'll be back tomorrow. We got weekend streams coming up. We're gonna do Saturday, we're gonna do Sunday, we might do some decorating, might do some more alt leveling. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate the company, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.